We're very fortunate at Trebah to have some wonderful sort of views and vistas, but probably the most panoramic and most striking of all of those is the one looking out as you head down along Radiata Path into the Chilean Coomb. Obviously the Davidia is looking fantastic. You've got the Cornish cross, the rhododendron, and the bluebells coming in through, the invasive, the copper beech. There's just so much to see as you head through sort of the early part of spring and into summer. It's a real sort of kaleidoscope of colour and a wonderful spot to just sit and enjoy those wonderful views. As you wander the garden and head down to the middle to the Chilean Coomb, I don't think there's any greater sight or combination of colours than the bluebells looking fantastic, set off against this lovely limey green foliage on the Davidia, the handkerchief tree, and these wonderful bracts which are just starting to form. So the bracts are there to highlight these very sort of small, insignificant flowers to encourage the insects in to pollinate them. I've mentioned this in the past through the winter, how it's covered in these sort of seed pods because it's in its sort of naked form. But you can see just how many seeds there are going to be this year and how many bracts. I think it's going to be a bumper year for the Davidia and really worth coming out just to see this tree on its own. It's also a nice sort of contrast, and it's the kaleidoscope of colour in the Chilean Coomb. You've got the invasive, the Chilean firebush, with a sort of vivid orange flowers, which really stands out in a real contrast again against those blues and whites. Spring at Trebah is a real time to sort of trigger your senses, all the different sort of scents coming in from the rhododendrons and some of the sort of scented plants like the azara. But on the sort of lower levels, when you get sort of down to ground level, there are some other interesting plants that have obviously different scents. One of the most sort of well-known, I guess, and sort of used in sort of culinary sort of circles is the wild garlic, the ransom, as you can see just flowering here. Interesting enough, the botanical name is Allium ursinum, and ursinum is Latin for bear. And apparently the brown bears used to forage for these in the woodlands, obviously when they would have been in this country. And if you see wild garlic in a woodland, it's often a sign that it's a very ancient woodland as well. So it's a nice sort of connection with the woodland that we have around Cornwall. Another fantastic sort of woodland bulb obviously are the bluebells. This is the English bluebell. And it's really sort of naturalised very well at Trebah. We've got lots of areas that have been cleared over the years, ponticum and laurel taken out, and the wildflowers have just sort of populated and taken over, and the bluebells in particular have done really well. Just bear in mind with bluebells, they will naturalise and they will seed, but they'll take about sort of 5 to 6 years for them to get to the point where they'll actually produce a flower. But the great thing is you've got these lovely deep blue nodding flowers and a lovely scent if you get a bit of warmth as well. Interesting fact of the day, the English bluebell, the bluebells, 50% of the world's population of bluebells are in the UK, so very much a sort of UK phenomenon. So probably one of the most highly scented and prettiest of all the Madenia rhododendrons. This is Rhododendron fragrantissimum. It lives up to the name with that wonderful sort of melon fresh scent, and those very, very pretty flowers set off against that lovely sort of green foliage. It's a bit more lax in form than some others, but it really does suit this sort of woodland setting as you're heading down along Beach Path just past Azolapool. It's a real showcase of a plant and really stands out. The only thing with the fragrantissimum is it is a bit more on the tender side, so you'd possibly get bud damage if you had a sort of colder climate than Cornwall, but it does really well in this lovely sort of semi-shaded position in the garden. The rhododendrons in any garden can often be a good source of scent, in particular rhododendron luteum. This particular one is a lovely sort of fresh yellow. It flowers on its naked wood, so it's a deciduous rhododendron, comes into leaf after the flowers are finished. It's a real good one for sort of a woodland setting like we have down as you head down along Badger's Walk. If you want real flower power from your rhododendrons and the bonus of scent, the Lodoris are second to none really. They really do stand out at this time of year. A lovely sort of fresh sort of pinkish tinge to those huge white trumpets. Really is a stunner. It has a lovely scent as well, a really good scent. It will get quite big. We've got some larger specimens in the garden that are somewhere in the region of sort of 7 to 10 metres in height. So it's a good size plant as well if you have a big space at the back of your garden and a bit of room. But as I say, a real showcase plant, and one that looks really good from afar, really stands out. This is a good example of where you're sort of almost fighting with the sort of naturalisation of plants that are non-native. So in this one here, this sort of position here, as you head down the sort of far end of beach path, we've got the three-cornered leek, the allium. Now this one is a bit of a thug. It's very invasive, and it's one of those plants that you wouldn't want necessarily in your garden unless you've got a very controlled position. It's actually illegal to plant this in the wild as well because it's very invasive. It will take over, it will smother, and it will completely over-dominate the bluebells that we've got in this particular part of the garden. Working with our garden team and our volunteers, we're actually removing the three-cornered leek from positions where there are plants that we want to preserve, and in particular obviously the bluebells. It's not possible necessarily to remove it all because it is quite dominant in other parts of the garden, but certainly in this area where we want the bluebells to naturalise, this one will be going. So just word of caution when buying and planting plants in the garden, just think about how they will interact with the other plants, and in particular those native. So as you can see, there's no holding back with the gunnera. It's in full speed ahead at the moment with growth, looking really good. Some really good sort of colour coming through. This lovely sort of light that filters through these leaves, and they're getting to a size now obviously where they're starting to grow above you. Give it another sort of month or so, and then these will be completely enclosed, and we'll have that sort of lovely contrast of the colour and the light shining through with the gunnera. So it's a real sort of showstopper for us at Trebah. It's also quite impressive with the sort of scale of these flower spikes as well. It does tend to naturalise and grow elsewhere in the garden, but it's quite an easy plant to remove if you need to, because literally just by removing the sort of growth point, the growth tip, it will kill the plant off. So yeah, it's a really impressive plant for sort of scale obviously, but also these lovely sort of flower spikes which are quite impressive as well. Interesting enough, as you see through the gunnera, at this time of year you've got obviously all the allium, Asinum, the wild garlic, the ransoms flowering in here, which is a nice sort of contrast, that sort of layer underneath. And then in the winter months you have all the snowdrops. So these wildflowers and bulbs can find their place into these sort of damper areas, and in particular with the wild garlic it does like these damper spots. From one jungle giant, the gunnera, the giant rhubarb, to this is Phyllostachus edulis, or the timber bamboo as it's commonly known. This is the one you see used for sort of scaffolding outside skyscrapers when they're building and doing work in China. Just to emphasise the power and the force of bamboo, this is a good example because you can see where this shoot's actually gone through this bit of stump that you can see that's just laying on top of the ground here. It's actually forced its way through it. Because it sort of grows quite slowly, it can gradually sort of push its way through. So hence the sort of word of caution when it comes to planting bamboo in a garden, and some of the more invasive or the running bamboos. We've obviously got space for the edulis to grow here, but it does move at quite a speed underground. So it could have shoots appear 3 or 4 metres away from the main stand. So it does need space. But it's the scale of these shoots, the size of them. They're anywhere up to sort of 7 inches, sort of 15 centimetres in diameter. So really impressive bamboo for us at Trebah. And it's one of those that the squirrels also like, hence the good sort of guards that you can see in and around here just to protect the new shoots from the squirrels eating. The greys will eat the shoots at very low level. Once they get a bit taller and a bit more woody, less attracted to the squirrels. So as well as the sort of girth, the speed, the sort of size of the canes when they eventually reach maturity, what another impressive feature of them is the speed of growth. So it'll grow anywhere up to sort of 30 centimetres a day. So in the sort of early stages of growth, you can literally get a foot worth of growth in 1 day. So that's why they're so impressive, because of the speed of growth and how fast they get to eventual height. When we think of spring, often we think of the flowering cherries, the prunus. This is Prunus chirifugum, It's one of the last of the flowering cherries to flower in the garden, so it gives that sort of a little bit later colour and interest. We've got the avenue of them planted down as you head along at the far end of Radiata Path. So in time they'll sort of come over the path and you'll get that sort of sea of petals on the floor as well. So a lovely fresh display and looking particularly good with these lovely pompons hanging down.